is November 19th, 2011. You're going to tell us about those war medals that you have from World War II. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you want me to start over on this?
Yeah.
This brown patch is the first patch I ever received when I went into the U.S. Army at Jefferson Barracks in St. Louis, Missouri.
Can you hold that up and show it to us?
This patch represents 3 divisions of the United States Armed Services. The blue patch represents the ground forces. The yellow patch represents the U.S. Air Force. The red patch represents the U.S. Naval. I wore that patch from Jefferson Barracks and into Camp Wheeler, Georgia, at Macon, Georgia. Because I had had a broken wrist when I went into the Army, I was classified into limited duty and assigned there for 18 months. And I wore this patch here during all of that time. Finally, my arm healed well enough that I was reclassified for active duty in any branch of the armed service. And in so doing, they transferred me from Camp Wheeler, Georgia to Fort Meade, Maryland, where I was assigned to a load going overseas, and I joined the 5th Army, which encompassed the 88th Infantry Division in Oran, Africa. I was assigned to Oran, Africa, to the 88th Infantry, just as we had driven the Germans out of Africa and into Italy. And so I followed the 88th Infantry into Naples, Italy, and that's where I actively became involved in warfare with the 8th Infantry Division. I fought in battles all the way the entire length of Italy during the next 18 months. The only part of Italy that we didn't actually fight in was in Rome, Italy. Somehow or other, they classified Rome as a battle-free city, and we rode on trucks and tanks through that city without firing a shot. But just north of Rome, we were back into battle again. And I fought through the south side of the Apennine Mountains, which includes Florence, Pisa, Italy. During the winter of 1944, the Germans held the peak of the Apennine Mountains, and we couldn't move forward any further. And so we were pinned down during the entire winter of 1944 on the south side of the Apennine Mountains. And during that winter, I never slept a night in a house. We slept in foxholes, and we were under 12 to 15 inches of snow, and it was there that I was on April the 12th when they ordered that we move forward and push the Germans on out of Italy. I don't know why it ever happened that way, but President Roosevelt died within a day or so of that time, and they stopped our movement. We did not move forward on the 12th, but a day later we did. I'll never understand what his death had to do with our stoppage of battle. But on 13th or 14th, we had studied maps of the peak of the Apennine Mountains. And let me explain that. The peak of the Apennine Mountains lets you look over into the Po Valley. The Po Valley in Italy crosses east and west and is 90 miles wide. We fought for 3 days and 3 nights, taking the top of the Apennine Mountains. In studying the maps about the part we were to take, each section was to take, I was shown a cemetery on the top of the mountain. That's where we were to go to. When we got to the top, we were actually stepping on the bodies of German and American soldiers. That many were killed. It was hard to even move forward without stepping on a man. Finally, the Germans had withdrawn further, and then they threw big shells back at us. Shells that would blow a hole as big as this room. And Charlie Longest, who was a buddy of mine, is now deceased, and I were together, right together, and we ended up in a get out of the gunfire in one of those large holes. And Charlie said, "Duke, where in the hell is all these bones and rags coming from?" I said, "Well, do you remember that map we studied?" He said, "Yeah, what about it?" I said, "We're in that cemetery." And we had, that one of those shells had blown that size hole out of an old Italian cemetery. And we were among bones and rags. Well, we still kept pushing forward. And as we went down into the Po Valley to cross and go out the north side of Italy, we had the Po River to cross. And when we got to the Po River, the Germans were in such a state of retreat that they dropped their horses, they dropped a lot of ammunition, a lot of weaponry, and we picked it up. And we crossed the Po River, which is a wide river, very wide, and got on the north side, and in 3 days and 3 nights, we moved 90 miles across the Po Valley. It was that much. They brought trucks along and men that couldn't stand it, couldn't walk it. They threw them on a truck and they kept going. You didn't stop for anything. They brought mules and horses to carry the ammunition, carry us food and ammunition. And on the last week of the war, we were going out of Italy into Austria in the Brenner Pass. That's Brenner, Brenner Pass. I'll never forget it. When I went into southern Italy, I was assigned a machine gun section, 64 men. And when that morning in northern Italy, in the Brenner Pass, we were all killed, had all been killed except 16 of us. And I lost 3 of my men that morning, were killed when the flag came through to cease fire. I had just lost 3 of my men that had been with me all the way through. It was pretty tough. I stayed in the little town of Predazio, Predazzio, Predazio, Italy. If you ever get a chance to go there, it is a beautiful little town. I stayed there for about a week, and we guarded and disarmed German prisoners. And it was from there that I started my way home. But I skipped over a part of the things that happened in those 3 nights and days crossing the Po Valley. In the little town of San Martino, we got involved in a gunfire where I killed 7 Germans, and for that was awarded the Silver Star. That's what this is right here.
Hold that up.
That's one of the higher
Nick, help him hold that
things.
up.
That's one of the higher things that you can be awarded.
Which one is that? The one on the
That's
left?
the Silver Star. This one right here.
Yeah. How come it's not silver then? Why is it gold?
Well, it's called a Silver Star. I don't know.
There's a silver star in the middle.
Is there a silver star?
No.
This in the middle is just a ground forces medal, indicating that I was in the ground forces, not in the air, not in the Navy.
Right.
In another battle in the Po Valley that I got involved in, I was awarded the Bronze Star. Strangely enough, it's not as highly recognized as the Silver Star, but I was awarded the Bronze Star for killing more men than I did for the Silver Star. And I actually earned another Bronze Star that never did get onto my record in still another battle. I should have had 2 Bronze Stars, Ground Forces, and Silver Star. And then you see this rifle up here? That represents a combat medal. That represents that I was inside of the enemy, inside of where a rifle could kill a person, and I was paid an extra $10 a month for that combat medal. And I won all of those crossing the Po Valley.
Now, what's in your other frame then?
What's that?
No, the here. In here.
What are those?
The same thing, I think.
Well, that's just an extra copy I've got of the Silver Star, and that's an extra copy I've got of the Bronze Star.
Hold that up. Let me see that.
I'm sorry?
Hold that up. Hold it so I can see it. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
You got it?
Yeah.
And this again is the ground forces.
Yeah.
Grandpa, we were wondering earlier, what is this? What is this here?
I took that off of a German soldier they killed. Where'd you get that?
It was in there. It was in the East Room.
Yeah,
He thought it was a letter opener.
I know.
It's not sharpened.
We used it for anything. But it was, they fastened it on a rifle. They fastened it on a rifle.
Bayonet.
It would do the
I
trick.
took it off him. I took his helmet. I took his field glasses. They're out there. And in the battle that I got this Bronze Star, I took that guy's rifle and it's upstairs. They laughed at me when I gave a mule skinner $10. I said, "This is all the money I got. Would you mail this to my dad and mother?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll do that." When he left,